Kia ora. This is a Wild Magic Tavern podcast.
Welcome to
Fury of the Small!
I swear, on this forest, on this cave, and even on Potato, that I will avenge you.
4 goblins survived the attack of the 4 heroes. Sly, the outcast who has returned to her childhood home in its moment of ruination. Mr. Scritches, a goblin in his winter years, is in this moment frantically seeking survivors, burrowing through rubble. And sealed in stone are 2 young brothers, far beneath the den that is now collapsed above them. Smiggly, the elder, with his cat Potato, and the youngest brother, Skree. Skree, you wake up.
What's happened?
Oh,
What's happened?
we have to go away.
Okay,
We have to leave. We have to leave now.
okay. Dad will help us, eh? We gotta find Dad will.
He's gone ahead.
Okay, but they got Mum. They got her with the fire something.
No. They,
Okay,
No.
okay.
They didn't get anyone, actually. Everyone just said that... Well, you know how I'm the greatest, spellcaster.
Yeah,
And they said to me, we've got a special mission for you.
okay.
And you've got to take Skree. And you've got to find those monsters.
Okay, let's go.
Good.
You begin to try and squeeze your way through. A goblin can fit through any space large enough for their skull. And so you begin to navigate this crush of stones. At a certain point, Potato starts mewling and scrabbling up. And you hear stones shifting up above you. This is dangerous, you know it, but there is a gap and a little bit of firelight peeks through. Scritches, you heard the sound of the cat. You heard the sound of something moving below. And old and feeble as you are, you begin to maneuver rocks and boulders away, trying to dig down to save whoever might be down there. To you, Sly, the back of this old man doing this looks like madness. It would be like
I think
what
he's like putting his entire body between 2 rocks and then like...
yeah, a grandfather goblin trying to perform a feat of strength, which is outside the reach of almost any goblin.
I cock my head much like a dog would at him, kind of inquisitorially, and then I run over and I begin to help peel some stones with my little claws.
Your little liver-spotted arms, Scritches are pulling at a rock. All of a sudden, a goblin with a skull for a head, it seems to be, appears at your side and with relative ease puts shoulder to stone and shifts a boulder out of the way. The sound of the mewling grows more frenzied, and the tiny little body of a cat emerges into the main cave.
Potato.
You know Potato indeed.
Potato, where's Smiggly? Where's Smiggly?
Looks back and you see a goblin eye. What color are your eyes, Smiggly?
Purple.
Purpled eyes. Looks up at you. You would know that purple eye anywhere. It was the same as Sylvie's eyes.
A chill runs down his spine as he reaches out a hand. Smiggly, take my hand. Take my hand.
I'll reach out to, I guess, the equivalent of my nerdy uncle.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn back to this bone-headed goblin. Can you give me your pole? I'm rather off balance.
Long, clawed fingers grasp around you, almost piercing into your skin.
Ow, that's quite hard.
She looks directly into your eyes, smiling, but pulls you out.
Skree, you tumble out as well in your brother's grip.
Yes.
And all 4 of you now are in these smoldering ruins. You huddle close together. Smiggly, you're holding your little brother Skree, your eyes taking in the ruined den. Scritches, you're exhausted, but you're staying strong for the sake of these two important kids. And then there's Sly, a goblin who was long ago cut off from all of this life and love in the goblin den. But now, you are the four that are left.
Are there any others, Smiggly? Any others beyond the rocks?
I'll just make sure I'll look to Skree to see if Skree's looking at me, and then if
I'm petting Potato.
I'll just shake my head. And then I think it's unusual for me as a goblin and as a nephew to this kind of nerdy uncle character, but for a second I'll just put my arms around him and give like a tiny little goblin hug. Like, squeeze him and then let go.
It's all right, Smiggly. You've been very brave.
What's your name?
At the feeling of eyes and attention on me, it's quick as anything. I turn and run as fast as I can on all fours out of the cave.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm sorry. I don't think she lives here.
Was that?
I-
Was that Sly?
What?
You know, the freaky one.
From the stories.
From the stories.
Yeah.
The stories always did talk about Sly's red eyes.
Wow.
No, it can't have been Sly. She's been in the woods forever.
I heard she
It's a
was.
story, I
She
think.
was 10 feet tall,
Yeah, so it wasn't 10 feet tall.
and
so
she had.
probably wasn't.
I don't know how big a feet is.
It's like,
You
have you
remember.
ever seen your foot?
The like a system
I
of
hate that.
measurement was revolutionary to you, Scritches, when you discovered it. You remember Carwin the barber explaining to you as he measured out a cut of meat. Barber, butcher, surgeon, all the same in his line of work.
Yeah. So, let me tell you about feet.
Okay.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to place one foot in front of the other.
Okay.
That is 1 foot. If
Oh.
you're measuring anything over 1 foot, you want to do that multiple times in a row for as many feet as you need.
Wow. And because my feet are not as big as your feet, mine would be
no,
squeeze feet.
it's for individual. Every measurement is dependent on the individual foot size.
Thank
times
you.
2.
Smiggly, as you watch your uncle sort of quite deftly help your brother put 1 foot in front of the other and start walking toward the mouth of the cave, you yourself turn back. No supplies. There's nothing that really remains of the den. Your uncle is leading your brother out into the open world.
And now we're going to measure how many feet it is to the exit of the cave. All right, guys?
Yes.
It's going to be all right.
It's really one of the only good things that those humans gave us. Feet measurements.
Well, there's lots of things, but
No,
you know,
that's really
each to
the
their
only
own. I'm used to it.
That and pencils.
Oh, pencils. Oh, don't get me started on pencils. The way the graphite lingers on paper.
As you walk up and out, keeping the chatter alive for the sake of the young,
And he's got banter for days.
you have to occasionally put a forceful hand onto Skree's shoulder as you walk past those goblins who the smoke got before they could escape.
Skree, I think there's a bunch of pencils just around this corner.
Okay.
I actually brought some back to show you, so let's go this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Smiggly, do you mind just seeing if you can see where that creature went? I've got my hands full.
Yeah, don't let him look at anything, all right? He can't handle it.
What?
Nothing.
Pencils. This way.
You go looking across, there are many branching passageways to various storerooms, and we'll say that you begin to do a bit of a requisition, see what you can salvage.
I will listen to my uncle's advice, and seeing that Skree is safe and out of curiosity, I think that Sly for me is like one of those mythical stories that you've heard from when you were a kid that's like a little bit, it's like, ooh, it's pretty exciting. And so I'll pick up the pace a little bit just to see like if I can quietly follow and just catch a glimpse of what she might be doing.
Where have you gone, Sly?
I think I've just headed out. I don't want attention on me. So I think I want to keep them within ear's distance because I think I care about what's happened. But I don't want them to see me.
We'll
So,
say that you were standing
ahead.
at the mouth of the cave with one of your ears twisted right the way back, keeping tabs on everything that's happening. And you're staring out into the wide wood that is your home.
If I lose sight of her, I might just call out like,
Wait. We need your help. If you're really as dangerous as they say you are, we need you.
You're still standing, Sly, with your back to this young goblin.
Nothing.
I'll just keep going. Can I see her yet? Or I'm sort of between the two still?
You take a couple more steps up toward the entrance of the cavern. You trip a little. You look down and you see your father's friend, Scansion, Master of the Hunt. His head has been caved in, broken. It's the most violent thing that you've maybe ever seen. You quickly avert your gaze back to Sly.
I'll also take my cloak off and just put it over the body, just hoping that it will cover it for Skree.
Please. If you really are Sly, please. We're all that's left.
As they get close to me, I dart again, but up into a tree. As high as I can get. And you just, all you can see from the kind of dark underbrush is the eyes watching.
I definitely don't approach because I'm still afraid. So I think I'll just stay where I can see her and see the eyes, and then just look back to see the pencil conversation continuing.
You hear the echoes of your uncle and your brother's voices as you stand right on the threshold, we'll say. You sit yourself down on the ground. The smoke is now very gentle.
Oh dear, that's quite a lot. Skree, this is a blindfold. I got it from the human village. I think you should try it out.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap that round your eyes.
Okay.
Nice and tight. Can you see anything?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go through to the next room now, and just stay right behind me, holding onto my belt, and and step over that.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay, we're going. Okay.
Scritches, as you lead Skree back through the ruins of the den, you are stepping carefully over goblin bodies. Every warrior who fought at the flood trap has had their ears sliced off. All four of you are aware of the moment, and you see it, I think, Sly, from your vantage of the top of your tree. The small hillock where the Jagged Jaws clan's caves were folds and crumbles on one side as one of the great oak trees just descends and then falls, tearing up great chunks of the earth. You're getting the impression it's going to be quite dangerous to stay any longer. There were only 3 great trees that held Jagged Jaw together.
I try and think if there's any safe places in the forest.
The forest is almost as dangerous as the worlds beyond the forest. Jagged Jaw is where safety was.
What should we do, Uncle?
Well, how about let's get some fresh air.
Okay.
Shall we do that? And then, we can have a think about what to do next.
There's blindfolds, itchy.
Oh, just keep it on, though. Okay. It's just around the corner.
Okay.
Skree.
Smiggly, I've got a blindfold on.
Oh, it looks
It's
fantastic.
a human thing.
Oh, it looks great. Skree, it's really a strike of good luck. This Sly, she's amazing.
Okay.
And she hasn't said it, but
I'll kind of look to where the eyes are. I'm sort of calling back.
I'm sure she's going to help us. And she's going to let us come back to her house.
Is that true?
I think you can hear this from a distance with your incredible hearing, this little conversation that is very much about you. And you see that all 3 of the survivors have gathered up together.
Now, Smiggly, it's not Sly. You shouldn't get your hopes up like
It
that.
is. I saw it in her
Sly
eyes.
went into the forest a long time ago, and no one lives in the forest.
I know she's going to take us. I can just feel it.
It's
She's
another goblin from another clan. I don't think we should expect too much.
Oh.
Excuse me, are you out there?
I hang myself upside down and I just sort of appear swinging upside down, and all you see is a skull and these huge ears.
Jesus Christ.
What is it? What's happened?
I cock my head looking at you, almost like an owl or something.
Can you take us to your clan, please? We don't have anywhere to go. They're young. Please, you must help us.
I have no plan.
Wow. crazy.
And then fast, I swing back up, and then you just see as almost like an ape, a chimpanzee or something, I swing off, heading off into the forest.
Are you leading the way?
Well, I'll take the blindfold off. We should follow her.
We must. Potato, charge.
Potato adeptly leads the way, leaping out ahead as you three step away from your home. The bright light of the sunny day begins to dim as night draws in. You follow the outcast through the wildwood. By the time you get to the mushroom grove, Scritches, how has your heart hardened in these steps? Something has changed in Scritches between the mouth of Jagged Jaw Cave and this spot in the forest. What's changed for him?
I think in the last few years, ever since the situation with Sylvie and Score, Scritches has kind of taken a step away from trying to be the best fighter, trying to be the best in combat that he could be, and instead turned his attention to the things that he thought could help Jagged Jaw grow as a community.
It is hard when the love of your life is paired in a marriage with a goblin of another clan, leaving all of your hopes and dreams destitute. So that kind of makes sense that you found another way to live.
Yeah, so he was pretty good about that, but he's doing the best he can with a bad situation. However, now everyone's dead, and he was bested so quickly, and that can't happen because he has to protect the survivors of this clan.
Yeah, because when you think about it, you are the oldest surviving member of this clan. You look ahead, the brothers have stopped just in front of you, sharing some of the sweet liquid at the base of these mushrooms that Skree has scampered towards and is sort of like taking some shavings of this like water-rich base of these mushrooms. Very, very nutritious.
So this one's light blue, and that's good. Dark blue, poison, remember, Mum would always say.
Yes.
So that's dark blue, that's light blue.
I already
And Scritches,
knew
these
that.
are the children of the woman you loved. They are also the heirs to the magic of Jagged Jaw, which has been passed down through only one line.
I think Scritches kind of like takes a moment and looks down and kind of cocks his head in the way that goblins do. And he has the thought in his mind that he will spend the rest of his life trying to achieve two things: to keep these two safe and to kill the ones who did this to his home.
Night falls. By the time you are walking through that one spot in the forest where you can see the stars, Smiggly, what's happened for you? Something's changed between Jagged Jaw's cave mouth and here for you.
I think that before the things in the cave, I had these dreams of doing kind of beautiful things, kind of special things, magical things, but more just for pleasure and for fun, to be a great fighter like my dad, or to be a great sorcerer like my mum, goblin magician. And after the events in the cave, my prayer, I guess, for vengeance, I made a decision in my heart to keep that private from Skree, to keep a smile on my face, to try and be the happy older brother, or the, deal with my annoying younger brother like I always have. But in my heart, this little seed is growing of the desire to become incredibly dangerous and to take revenge. And seeing Sly, who is like the epitome of danger, has filled me with excitement that there is a way to like become hard and to survive alone.
Skree, your uncle didn't want you to go up the lookout tree while he went and just saw what was going on there.
But there's cool birds up there sometimes.
There are beautiful birds out there, always.
But there's so many beautiful insects on the ground, and maybe you can try and find 50 of them. I'll be right back.
Okay. I complete a side quest. Find 50 colourful insects and return them to Scritches for a tasty reward.
You receive 1 twig.
It's that little moment when you're a kid and everyone else's attention is turned from you for a moment, and you sort of realize that you are unobserved. What does Skree do in a moment like that?
I start to drift off a little bit and daydream. I haven't been trained super actively by my mum, but I've heard her trying to train Smiggly, and I know the kind of daydream mantras that she uses. And so I just kind of lean back against the tree and my eyes kind of unfocus, and I start to see what she would call the forest beyond and inside and amongst the forest. And so I start to try and kind of space out in that way. And then I start to see maybe... Is the sun going down? Is it?
It's nighttime now,
It's nighttime. I start to see like a sunrise over the top of the tree above us and hear some kind of like beautiful music, and I just slowly climb the tree.
This moment unobserved, you climb the exterior of the Watcher's tree, and you look out over the treetop forest at the great wide world. Very harsh on your eyes. But by nighttime, you can see the distant mountains, the cragged coast where your father was born, and he promised one day he would take you. And here at the side of the tree, as the wind whispers past your ears, you hear in that wind, "I think you and I are going to have a good time.
What?
You are mine now. I'm here to look after you."
Okay. Can you look after all of us?
Oh, I'm here to look after all of you.
Oh, good.
Wherever goblins are, I am. And you are all the goblins in this wood now. So I am with you.
Okay. Can you tell that goblin who wears the bones on her face, can you tell her that we're friends?
That goblin needs you.
Yeah, she keeps running away.
Yeah.
Can you tell her that we would like to be her friend?
You just keep following her now,
Okay.
and you'll end up right where you're supposed to be.
Okay. What's your name?
I've got many names.
Wow, I've got one name.
It is
Skree.
Skree. And the song of your name is sung out. The whisper of the wind through the leaves of the trees, the shushing sound that it makes, is where all goblins' names come from. I am the benevolent goblin. I am the cheerful countenance with the outstretched hand. I am the good fellow, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to help all of you.
Okay.
Sly, you've made this journey from Jagged Shore only once before, long ago. A terrible memory, running for your life. Your fury has been surpassed now by terror. You don't understand either emotion. Why was the fury there? What is this fear that I have now? Your feet are thudding along a well-known path, up and out into the open air, into the forest, away from whatever it was that you just did. There are voices behind you, voices that are filled with that same rage that you were experiencing minutes ago.
My son! My son!
The voices are following you up and out. Before you know it, your feet are at the edge of a beautiful, serene pool where mist gathers on the surface. Two birds chitter at your side before flying away. This is the boundary of Jagged Shore's territory. Beyond this is the wild wood. In this place that you now walk, there is danger in every shadow. With a hoot and a growl, a roosting owlbear drops from a tree. You scurry away. Animate roots and vines seize at your arms and your legs. You wade through marsh and sludge that bubbles and boils, and until you arrive at the nearly fallen tree. Supported by the boughs of other dead comrades, the nearly fallen tree is enormous, larger than any of the three that supported Jaggedjaw. It appears dead, but as you crawl inside its open carapace, you find all manner of life here. At the top of the tree, amidst the broken boughs, you finally sit. You look down in your hand, where a ragged goblin ear is still clenched. It drops with a wet flap to the ground, and you see at the top of this tree a skeleton. Chap, you clear away some debris. A skull, eaten clean by the bugs of the forest. A goblin skull. Its jaw shattered, broken away. What do you do?
Can't go back. Can't go back.
I lift the skull off the neck. There's a bit of resistance, so I have to twist it slightly in order for the skull to break off, and the body falls away into cobwebs. And I attempt to try and put it on my head, but it's instantly uncomfortable for my big bat-like ears, which are trembling from the shock before. And so I peel it off again and turn it over in my hands. I look at it in the eyes, very Hamlet-esque, and say, "Who are you?" And then against the tree, I just try and start knocking it until some shards of skull fall away on either side, very, very haphazard. And then I slide the skull back on my head. And my two ears, one by one, go poof, poof, like big bat wings popping out. I crawl into the corner of the old wooden tree, and amongst the cobwebs and mushrooms, I curl up, and my two ears curl over my face like a bat.
As you go to sleep, you let loose a sigh that is echoed. This is where you live now, wherever this other goblin also ended up. And this place, the nearly fallen tree, is where all of you now live. The attack of the monstrous heroes occurred in high summer. After you were led here by Sly, you had a few good weeks of warmth left in the year before the leaves started to fall and before your need grew greater than your means to support yourselves. What sort of life have you carved out for yourself here at the nearly fallen tree, where we must imagine you have been living almost exclusively for those weeks after the attack? Who shall we start with?
I think since we arrived, I've become almost obsessed with training Skree, getting Skree to become stronger. And I do daily regimes of, we practice with the short little daggers, we practice with slingshots. And Skree is no good. Skree is no good. And also simultaneously noticing that Skree's eyes appear to be getting mistier and mistier, and mine are not, which is causing another level of pain that I don't seem to be getting the magic that my mother had.
We should take a little moment here to talk about the faraway look, this mistiness at the edges of the eyes. This is how magic manifests itself in goblins. In childhood, eyes are nice and clear, but as you grow up, some goblins begin to show this mistiness that begins at the corner of the eyes, but eventually takes over until the whole eye appears to be a clouded, rolling fog. And this is what is happening to Skree, but not to you. This is the inheritance that was meant to be yours. And in the dark boughs, when your brother's eyes are closed at night, you can see it seeping from under his eyelids.
I think yours are getting a little bit mistier.
Yeah, no, they are.
No.
They're developing slowly
Look
but
over
surely.
here. Look over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Just right there.
And yours are just foggy from crying, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I do not see any cloudy. What are you saying to me?
I do not see cloudy in your eyes.
Okay, well, you are clearly incompetent in the forms of magic.
Okay, that's a little bit harsh to someone who's having us in their home. so
Okay,
maybe
well, I'm
let's-
telling you, I'm the expert here, and if I say I've got cloudy eyes forming, I have got cloudy eyes forming.
Scritches, what is this domestic space inside the newly fallen tree? What does it look like? How is it furnished? This is the closest thing you have to the den of old. What does it look like?
Yeah, I think Scritches would have done his best to make it as cozy as possible. I think.
It's not cleaning it up.
Those cobwebs are supposed to be there.
I'm just putting the rotting carcass at the bottom of the tree. If that's all right. Sly.
Skree, I'm curious. What does Skree think happened on the night of the attack? Words were spoken to him by his brother in that immediate aftermath as you were held in the rubble. What is the truth that Skree has accepted?
I think that Smiggly told me that my mum is alive and my dad is alive. And I think you've kept saying that they're out there somewhere and they'll come and get us or we'll all join up together. Even though every now and then someone says we're all that's left and that voice spoke to me and said, you are the only goblins left alive in the forest. So I think I believe there's some hope that Papa is still alive, but I definitely saw my mum fall. And even though I let Smiggly believe that I'm convinced, I know that I've seen my mum pass. And I think for me that means that that kind of like opening for me is I know now that people can be taken, even though like peripherally people in the clan may have lost their life in an accident or like a...
I mean, death is not uncommon.
Yes. But this is the first time someone from our like tight-knit group has fallen. So I know that people have passed, even though I was protected from the worst of the like gory visions as we were leaving. The more I think about it logically, I piece it together.
The hunting gets more difficult day by day, week by week. Many of the deer and larger game of the forest begin their migrations out onto the plains. Much of the small game takes over for a while, and that sustains you for a couple more weeks. But soon, the trees are bare. A cruel wind howls through the woods. You can see the ribs on Potato's sides beginning to grow more and more pronounced. You are used to fending only for yourself, but whatever stores and supplies you have can't sustain all of you together. It has been decided that you will go to Hammondale together.
Wait to show you guys the village. It's going to be amazing.
The necessary supplies that you will need for all goblin clans of the region gather together in the winter at an event called the Goblin Market. Yourself, the Jagged Jaws, the Grimgrins, goblins of the Cragged Coast, the Braggadark clan, they all gather together for those coldest weeks of winter. All of the pelts that you had been gathering and tanning in Jagged Jaw would have been traded there for useful goods from the other goblin clans. Marriages would have been arranged. News would have been swapped up and down the coast. This central event of your calendar year determines how your clan will live for the rest of the year. It's a journey that is usually made en masse, but you have no wargs to pull the wagons. You have nothing to trade or to give. And through the winter months, you know, Skree, the burden of care on your mother as the healer of the clan was at its greatest. Her role was to keep you guys alive. Her in the caves, your father outside. This is the predicament that you find yourselves in. If you are to journey to the goblin market, you will need something to show for yourselves. But also, if you are to survive the winter, you will need to find supplies to facilitate that for you.
So we need something to exchange at the goblin market.
If you would like to turn over your cards that I have provided for you,
Special secrets.
Should have seen that coming.
you will find a small map of Hammondale, the town. This is what we're going to use to guide us through the next stage of the adventure. But it's got a little list of the things that you need. I've written down there, I believe, food, medicine, and valuables.
Yes.
This is what you will be adventuring for. So I'm going to do a little pivot now that's going to bring you to the very edge of Hammondale.
Crazy.
And you can make your little decisions. It's going to be like the ridge overlooking the town. I'm not going to start you
Amazing.
like in the dragon's mouth. This is the scenario you find yourselves in.
So we need to pilfer or somehow obtain these things from Hammondale so we can go to the market so that we can survive the winter.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Where is the market? In Hammondale?
No, the market is held up in the high mountains of one of the goblin clans. They're called the Bragadark clan. They have the largest den of any of the goblins in your region, and that is where the meeting will occur.
And what's their vibe?
Their vibe is that they are aerial goblins. They fly on the back of giant bats.
What the hell?
Their caves are the most remote, but also the largest of any of the goblin clans. And it's kind of their status. They are kind of they're the largest and most powerful of the goblin clans in the region.
Would any of us have been to the markets or this clan before?
Yes, this happens annually. So
But we all go?
Yeah, you all go.
Oh, wow.
Only person who hasn't ever gone probably in their living memory is Sly. But yes, the goblin market.
Not been to Goblin Market.
The goblin market is where your mother and father, Score and Sylvie, were married.
Wow.
Romantic.
That'd be nice.
Worst day of my life.
What?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay.
Valuables is not the same for goblins as it is. Like, we wouldn't be stealing fine furs.
Think of it, their valuables are the things that would help survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like...
An apple.
Yeah. But also
pan,
like
a saucepan.
anything that is made out of metal is extraordinarily valuable to a goblin. Your scavenging party moves through the woad, first wild and then known. Some of these pathways you remember. They are the same tracks that your father would have scavenged on Walkback. They're now starting to overgrow. Without the goblin clan here, this forest is becoming as wild as what lay behind. The leaves are thick on the ground. Winter will soon be upon you. Traditionally, at the first frost, you would travel to the goblin market, high in the Bragadark Mountains. But in this moment, you each find yourself somewhat back in your element. Skree, you remember some of these paths where your mother took you to cut precious herbs. Smiggly, you remember bobbing behind your father atop his warg as he showed you the most important arterial routes of the territorial patrol. And for you, Scritches, this is the same path that you walked the first time that you went to Hammondale, the human village. A place dangerous, mysterious, but also, to you, romantic in ways that you couldn't put your finger on until you arrived. Sly, the edge of the forest, the open world, a place you've never been before. Some of you have wounds that have healed since the night that the monsters came. Others have wounds that have deepened. You reach a hillside edge where the trees thin and the lights and smells of the human village meet your senses. Hammondale is a walled town, astride a long road, like the path you were just on, but many times wider, that stretches as far to the east and west that you can see. You, Scritches, understand Hammondale to be a road town. The road sustains the town. This road is where a king would march his armies quickly to quell a rebellion. This road is where trade moves up and down the scimitar shores. The road is the lifeblood of the town. At the end of each section of the road that runs through the town, there is a gatehouse. The gates will be closed at night, but open during the day. Inside the town, you've made a quick list with that little stub of pencil lead that you have remaining.
It's the last of the pencil lead.
Wow.
And with it I shall make a list.
You've listed the places that you think you might find the necessary supplies, food, medicine, and valuables. There is an apothecary in town. There is a general store where dry goods are sold to travelers. There is your former employer, Carwin's Cuts. Carwin is a barber and a butcher and a surgeon.
He wears a lot of hats.
Really?
Literally, yeah.
Literally?
Quite a lot of hats.
Very
One on top of the
thinly
other.
sketched with a big question mark beside it, you've put the mayor's house. If anywhere were to have valuables, it would be in Mayor Tenderloin's abode. You've also written down the Fallen Apple Tavern, which is the large alehouse right at the center of town. But these are the best bets that you think you could make. We'll say that as you arrive, the sun is setting. Some lights appear in the centermost parts of the town, but these are peasant folk. They can't afford to keep their houses lit all night long. Darkness will be your friend this evening.
Okay, so, how's everyone feeling about heading into Hammondale? It's pretty with, the lights that are still on, don't you think?
The humans are dangerous.
They can be, yes.
I have seen them.
You've never seen so many straight lines in your life, I think, as you see in this town. Like beams and roads and blocks of town. It all looks so bizarre to you.
For a goblin that pretty much in the forest has always seemed brave, bold, courageous, at home, suddenly there's a flicker of uncertainty and hesitancy in Sly's eyes as she takes a step back towards the forest.
Well, yes, there are humans there, but there's also Elvies. They live in the town as well as all other manner of folk. So it's not just humans in there. I think it would probably be best if we try to keep a low profile and maybe disguise ourselves as one of the gnomes.
Okay.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, it's just that if they see
I
our
won't be
ear...
wearing any of those sort of strange outfits. My dad said that they were strange.
No,
My dad said you were strange and you would come here and do strange things, and I won't be doing that. Thank you very much.
Look, Smiggly, if we're to survive in that town, we might need to conceal the fact that we are us. Might need to do a bit of pretending.
Dressed like the monsters.
Yes. In fact,
Scritches goes over to a nearby tree and pulls a large sack out, unearths it from the roots of the tree. And inside that bag, there are 2 smaller bags. He opens one of the bags, and it is filled with hair.
Hey!
Of different colours and different lengths.
look, don't be afraid. It's just a bag of hair.
You're a freak.
I'm not a freak.
He's a freak.
I'm not a freak.
I
okay?
think it's wonderful.
Thank you, Skree.
Put
What I'm-
Skree in the hair.
No,
Can I have some?
We're gonna. Yes. Okay. Look, I'll show you.
Just a handful.
Okay. Skree, just pick something out of the bag.
Got it.
Okay. What you get?
A handful of hair.
No, it's called a wig.
Oh.
Oh, God.
It's a wig. I'll stitch some hair together.
What's wrong with him, Sly?
Look, just Smiggly, tuck your ears into the hair.
Smiggly?
Skree, you put it on. You need the wig.
Okay. I'll put it on.
Oh,
Beautiful.
no.
It looks like a human
Yes,
freak.
exactly. Look, he's got lovely curls that jingle and jangle when you pull on them. It's nice, and no one's going to pay any attention to a little kid walking around.
He is still, almost naked from the neck down. He's wearing his Skree's signature tiny loincloth.
Yes.
Which brings me to my other bag.
What's the wig look like?
I think it is a perm.
A blonde perm?
Blonde perm.
Feels crazy.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you,
it
Uncle.
looks great, don't you think? Doesn't your brother look dashing in that? Well, Sly, would you like to go next? Choose a wig?
Sly puts long, tendrilled fingers into the bag and pulls out a cropped ginger, kind of like a Karen cut, like a party in the front, spikes in the back kind of moment, and puts it on over the skull. And then looks at you, eyes glowing, cocks her head to the side.
Wow, Skree, what do you think?
Yeah.
She walks off angrily.
Well, okay, I'll talk to you about the other bag. All that's left is you, Smiggly.
No, I won't be doing it.
Fine.
Scritches digs his hand into the bag and pulls out a kind of like a red, spiky... It's like red hair and a single spike straight up.
Like Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. Gnomes are known for their eccentric haircuts, canon.
Yes.
Slicked up in front.
And, okay, and also, we're all going to pretend to be blind, all right? Because they can't see our eyes.
What's happening? I will be sneaking around.
Okay, fine.
Like
you
a
can sneak.
respectable goblin
All
that
right.
I am.
All right, Smiggly, you do whatever you like.
Thanks, I
Okay,
will.
you do your own thing. We'll do our thing. I've also got clothes, so whenever you're ready, step forward. I've got a nice pair of lederhosen here for you, Skree.
Okay.
There's a buckle here. You throw that under your shoulder over there and do the buckle up. So, what?
And lederhosen in a perm.
Sly, what do you feel like today?
And I don't like any human garb.
I do just have this tablecloth. Yeah.
I grab the tablecloth
Just
and wrap it like a burrito, like I'm in the sleeping bag.
that'll do. Oh, hold on. I'll just throw a belt on it.
Now I'm cinched. The disdain over my face, the eyes glow even further red.
Look, this is going to be really helpful to us because no one's going to. We're not going to look out of place, and that's important in the village.
Uncle, are these your friends we're going to go see?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everyone in the town loves me.
Great.
Yeah, so you're safe with me.
Okay.
Freak.
Smiggly, what words of your father are running through your head?
Strange man.
He's
Well,
a
goblin.
strange goblin. I do not like him. You must stay away.
Yeah, and a unnatural fascination with the human village.
Have you seen what he wears?
Oh, I have, Dad.
How is it that he goes about like that?
Very, very bizarre.
What your mother saw in him, I will never know.
Yeah, me neither, Dad. Me neither.
You're caught in this little reverie as you see. What do you, Don?
Just wait. He's been saving something for a special occasion.
I think that it's like children's button-up, kind of like school uniform shirt, but the bottom's ripped off it, so it's kind of like a crop top. A pair of little shorts, knee-high socks, sandals.
He's killed a child to get this. He snatched a child in the middle of the night on the way to school.
No, just they're washing.
Yeah, just off like washing lines.
Yeah,
Washing lines is like the mall for you. The mall on a quiet day.
yeah.
A soft blindfold is also tied across your eyes.
We're all going to be blind?
Well, these blindfolds are different. I've kind of customized them a little bit so they're thin enough so you can see through them.
It's like a very thin, like cheesecloth.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to be 4 blind gnomes.
Well, 3 because Smiggly wants to do her own thing.
Listen to me, Skree.
Yeah?
You don't have to do anything you don't want to, okay?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, good.
He's having a great time. Why
Well,
are
you better take care of him. And
I will take care of him.
Good.
Yeah. I made an oath to take care of him and I will do that.
Well, I made an oath too.
I made oaths as well.
We've all made oaths.
Not you, Sly. Have you made any oaths?
What?
Have you made an oath?
No.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to be sneaking, and I shall begin that now.
Okay, try and hide from us then.
I will. I'll try and stealth.
So, stealth in the new D&D rules requires
Please.
a DC 15 check.
Whoa.
Because you are going to a human village, and humans famously cannot see in the dark,
Idiots.
we're going to reduce that DC to 10, so long as you remain undiscovered.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you want to just see if you can hide from these goblins?
Yeah, I'm gonna waste a dice roll on showing off right now. Yeah, hide from these goblins. Yes. So that's 11 on the dice plus 7. So 18.
You hear Smiggly's words, but then by the time you check back next to the tree, the goblin has disappeared.
Damn it. They're good.
Your first choice is to decide, are you going to try and go through the gates, over the walls? How will you get into Hammondale?
I'll open the gates from the other side.
I think they're already open.
Oh.
What?
Are they?
Large gate town on the road, closed at night traditionally to
and
keep
it
out
is
the
nighttime.
banditry, and it's just the sun has just gone down.
Damn it, we just missed the window.
All right.
But you have only just missed the window.
Want to be beggars? Beggars?
What's that?
It's somewhere we bother people for small gold things.
Okay.
Try begging?
What?
Just try it. Just give it a go.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Great. Sly?
Give me the money!
Try again. Just less demanding.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
Both in fluent goblin.
Yes.
You know what? Just, I'll do the talking. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You descend past the serfs' fields where some small harvests are kept. There are a couple of lodgings and residences outside the town walls where herdsmen or hunters might live. There are a couple more of these dwellings than the last time you were here. In the years that you have been, Scritches, to Hammondale, it has grown and grown and grown, much to Mayor Tenderloin's delight. The speeches that he gives every month in the town square, you always loved hearing about all the latest moments of civilization that had arrived.
They got plumbing last year. Very exciting for Hammondale.
Between the fields, across paths, tall fences towering above you, you arrive at the main road, which is paved in stone, cold and unnatural under your bare feet. You approach the gatehouse. 2 burning torches left and right. No guards on this side, but there will be a watchman there.
Excuse me. Does anyone go there?
Fury of the Small was produced by the Wild Magic Tavern in partnership with the Spinoff. It was written and game mastered by Paddy Carroll, with Tom Eason as Skree, Hope-Higginson as Smiggly, Arlo Gibson as Scritches, and Brynley Stent as Sly. Series artwork is by Lars Cawley. It was produced, edited, and sound designed by Aihe Butler. Special thanks to Sam Small, Olivia Marhood, Lewis Gregory, Mad Chapman, Jen Follett, and all our nerdy mates we've played D&D with over the years. Check out the Wild Magic Tavern on Substack, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you really enjoyed listening, please rate and review Fury of the Small on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope to have you back at the table soon.